Hey everyone, well, I'm back in my kitchen again, still a teacher, still on Christmas break. So I thought, hey, I know what I can do this evening. I have been saving my bacon grease and saving my bacon grease and saving my bacon grease for the express purpose of making another go at Rick's heart attack chicken recipe. Now, the last time I made this recipe, I used beef tallow, and it was very delicious. There's a video about that. I'm sure you can go and find it. It was super good. But I had never fried anything before, like literally never in my life. And I tried it in my cast iron, which that was fine, but I did not have a splatter screen for one thing. So that has been remedied, you guys. I now have this handy dandy splatter screen, which I will be using. The other thing is I got some advice from some of you wonderful viewers out there who watched my other video that I could go ahead and fry in this Dutch oven. Now, this is an Amazon Basics Dutch oven. This thing is amazing. And I've used it for quite a few things, including my carnivore chili that I made, which was really good. And some of you had also seen that video and had told me, like, you could fry something in that Dutch oven because on the inside of this is cast iron and, you know, the sides are higher. So between the higher sides of this Dutch oven and the splatter screen, I think that this frying is going to be a lot less messy, but hopefully just as delicious. Now, to speak a little bit on the tallow versus the bacon fat. I have no idea if the bacon fat is going to work, you guys, but it's free. So the bacon fat is fat that I save. I'm going to put this down. Every time I make my bacon, I pour off the bacon grease into this container. There's a little strainer in here, and this container is full now of bacon grease. And so I'm going to fry, it might be more like a shallow fry, but I'm going to fry the chicken in this bacon grease. The beef tallow was delicious, but I do not make my own beef tallow. It's my understanding that that is quite a process, although many of you guys are doing that, and hey, way to go. But that is not something that I have yet tackled. And the beef tallow that I buy it's expensive. I mean, it's great for using a tablespoon here or there to cook up some ribeyes, but when we're talking enough tallow to fry some chicken in, that was a lot of tallow, and it cost me a lot of money. So in the interest of saving money, I figured Pixel is down here about to knock my camera over. So if you see me looking down, yeah, she's like rubbing up against the tripod. So there's that. Anyways, I'm going to use this beef tallow. I'm going to use this bacon grease to try to make my chicken. And the chicken I am using is this pasture raised chicken that I got. It comes from Wild Pastures. So I have 3 packages here of chicken thighs and 1 package of chicken wings. Each package is 1 pound, but keeping in mind that there are bones in there. So 4 pounds of chicken with bones. I am going to share this with my husband. So this is dinner for 2 tonight. So yeah, what I'm going to do is open these up, dry them off a little bit with a paper towel. Obviously, I'm going to get my bacon grease into my Dutch oven and heat that up to frying temperature. Don't ask me what that is. I think it's supposed to be 350 or 375, but I don't have the right thermometer for that. I didn't use one last time and it came out really good. You don't want the grease to be smoking or anything like that. If it starts smoking, it's too hot. That happened to my beef tallow last time. I took it off the fire, turned the fire down, let it cool off, and then it was good. So that's kind of what I did. Again, a cook or a chef, I am not, but that's the technique I used and it was great. The other thing I'm going to do again, because it was delicious, is as soon as I take the chicken out while it still has some grease on it and the grease is still hot, I'm going to put some Redmond real salt on that chicken. But before I can do any of that, I've got to get this chicken opened up, dried off, and of course, get my bacon fat heating up here. So I'll be back in a minute when those steps are complete. My setup obviously looks a little different here. You can see all my chicken over there. I've unpackaged it. I have patted it dry with some paper towels. I've got the thighs in the front, the wings in the back. I'm going to do the thighs first. And these thighs are a lot bigger. Last time my Wild Pastures chicken thighs were small. And I'm sorry if I'm talking loud, but I feel like this bacon grease is loud. It's bubbling and popping and hot and ready to go. It's very rare that I actually empty my whole bacon grease container out, but this time I did. So just so you know, I went ahead and washed my bacon grease container, wiped it totally out with a paper towel because I didn't want any of that going down my drain. And then with just some Blue Dawn soap, just kind of scrub that bacon grease container out so it is clean as a whistle and ready to accept bacon grease the next time I make bacon. Otherwise, that stuff will last on your countertop for quite a good long while. I usually just give it a sniff, believe it or not, before I use it. And it's never had a funny smell at all, except one time when I burned the bacon. Yeah, that bacon grease wasn't good. I got rid of it. Otherwise, some people do put it in the refrigerator. So you can refrigerate it as well if you feel better about doing it that way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and drop this cooked chicken into the oil or into the bacon grease. And I'm going to have to flip it for sure. So these are kind of bigger than last time. I'm going to go for about 8 minutes per side, fried in this bacon grease. And then when that's done, I'm going to have to go in batches. I think I'm going to be able to fit 4 thighs in at a time. So this is going to take me a few batches to get this done. But I'll come back and let you know how these turn out. My first batch of chicken thighs is in here like I thought I could fit 4. It is actually a way less splattery, way less splattery. I don't know if it's because of the ceramic coating that's on this pan or what it is. But I am going to go ahead and use this. My wonderful husband bought me this for Christmas. So just in case, I'm going to pop this really cool spatter screen on the top. So cool. The design actually kind of allows it to sink down into like a variety of sizes of pots and pans. So I just wanted to show you that. He was very thoughtful to think of me for a grease splatter protector for a gift for me this year. So there we go. This is the first time I'm getting batch of chicken is out. I actually did it for 2 extra minutes, you guys. So it was 7 minutes, and then 2 more minutes. And I did salt this with the Redmond real salt right when it came out of the oil. And I'm going to let it cool down a little bit and I'm going to taste it. In the meantime, I fit the other 5 chicken thighs into this thing to cook. Now, I know that when you're deep frying or shallow frying, whatever you want to say, that I'm doing here, you're not supposed to crowd your pan too much, and there is still some room. I just didn't want to have to do another batch for like one lonely little thigh. I did want to keep the thighs and the wings kind of separate when I do them because the wings are a lot smaller, and I think they're going to take less time. But these are just like glistening. They're going to be crispy. It smells delicious because it's chicken and bacon smell. Who doesn't love that? And yeah, I can't wait to give these a try in just a couple of minutes. I'm also going to bring you over here so you can see what it looks like. So here we go, my infamous bring you over to the pot move. So there you go. As you can see, I just put them in, so they're still kind of raw, obviously, on the top side. And you can see that they don't quite fit all the way down under the oil, or the grease, I should say, bacon grease. And that's why I am going to flip them partway through. But that bacon, or it's not just for bacon grease, that grease splatter guard that I got for Christmas is definitely doing its job. I am going to guess that he got that on Amazon. And if I can find it on Amazon, I'll definitely link it below because I do really like it. It definitely fits in a variety of pans and it's doing its job. It's doing a good job. The other thing I want to make sure to mention is my stove setup here, as you can see, is like there's a left and a right counter. So I have all my raw chicken over here, including the tongs for the raw meat over here. I opened it, I dried it and all of that over here. And then when it's done, I have another set of tongs. This is the done chicken tongs. And I have plates and stuff set up over here with paper towels, and the salt and everything for when the chicken is done is on this side. That way there's going to be no cross-contamination going on in my kitchen. Maybe that's a little paranoid, but I just wanted to let you know that is how I excuse me, that is how I go ahead and set this up to keep stuff from becoming cross-contaminated or a problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and set my timer. It's been in there for a couple minutes. I'm gonna set it for another, actually 6 minutes because I had added those other couple of minutes. So I'm gonna think of it as like 8 minutes per side. See how it looks. Now I have time to wait. So as you know, I like to fit in fitness. You already saw me do my push-ups. So I'm gonna do some squats while I wait, you guys. I just put in the chicken wings. The wings are a lot smaller. I was able to fit the whole pound of chicken wings in here at once, so I only had to do 3 batches, which is awesome. Also, they fit all the way under that bacon grease, which is nice. They are submerged. So I guess I'm officially deep frying, you guys. Never deep fried in my life. So they're all the way submerged. I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes because I'm not flipping them. And I don't think they need as much time because they're wings. So they're a lot less meaty than the thighs are. So I'm gonna set this for 10 minutes. And we'll check them and see if they're done. I'll bring you over here one more time just so you can see. It's hard to see because the chicken has been in and out of the grease now for a few times. And that grease is kind of dark at this point, but I'll bring you over so you can see. Okay, so there's the chicken wings frying away. I don't know if it's because I'm using this awesome, I love this thing more and more, this Dutch oven, link below. It works for so many things. Apparently, it makes deep frying a lot neater. Who knew? A cook or a chef, I am not. But this thing, when I did the beef tallow in the cast iron, that stuff was popping and splattering and making a mess. For this, honestly, I probably could have gotten away without the splatter screen. It's nice to have it just in case. It works great. But everything's kind of staying down in the Dutch oven. So it is an excellent deep fryer, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I'll see you back here in 8 minutes and 45 seconds when I can take these wings out and we'll give one of these thighs and these wings a taste. Also, I gave a couple chicken thighs to my son, the one who's been liking meat a lot more lately. I'm gonna go get a report from him and I will relay to you what he says about this deep fried, shallow fried, I guess his are shallow fried chicken thighs in bacon fat. We'll see what he thinks. Okay, so the timer has gone off on these chicken wings and I am going to pop them out of the oil, salt them up, and give them a taste. I have got a chicken thigh and a little piece of a chicken wing. Now, I don't know what the deal is with the chicken wings, but they did not get as brown, although this piece has a little browning on it. So I don't know if that's because they're deep fried instead of shallow fried, like they weren't touching the bottom of the pan really. I'm not 100% sure, but the chicken thighs definitely got a browning on the skin, which I know is going to be crispy and delicious. So I'm going to try that one first. Like I said, I did salt this. So let's just pick it right up. This is how we eat chicken. This is how we ate chicken in my house when I was a kid. You just pick it up and tear into it. Okay, so the purpose of this video was to compare my previous foray into fried foods with the fried chicken, the Rick's Heart Attack chicken made with beef tallow. And I did that, and I posted that video, and that was delicious. I tried it unsalted, then I salted it, and I thought that did make it better. This time around, as you saw, I used bacon grease instead of beef tallow. Main reason? Economics, people. Okay, so here's my thoughts. If you make your own beef tallow and you have it on the cheap, try this in beef tallow because it was really good that way. I personally liked it a little bit better in the beef tallow. Okay, that being said, this is delicious. So for me, if I'm going to continue doing this, and I probably will from time to time, I'm going to save my bacon fat because that doesn't cost me any extra money. It is much easier to do than the beef tallow because you just strain it into the bacon fat container. It's good to go. It's not an all-day process. And it does impart, though, some flavor onto the chicken, which is not bad. It is definitely a bacony flavor. I would say be careful when you salt your chicken, when you use the bacon grease, because I feel like because bacon is salty, that grease might be a little salty already. I think it imparted some salt on this. So when I salted it the second batch, because I kind of tasted the first batch, I couldn't wait, you guys. That was a little too salty for me. This piece here came from the second batch, and I think it's a good amount of salt. On a final note, my son gave me the highest praise that any teenage boy of 15 can give, which is, he came out of his room, he looked me in my eyes and said, "It's good." So there's a ringing endorsement for Heart Attack Chicken fried in bacon grease. You guys, it's good. So I'm going to go meet some wellness, one delicious piece of fried chicken at a time. Okay, you guys, the best part of any meeting wellness cooking video, the best part. You ready? Pixel. Come on. Here she is. Hello, Pixel. There's a plate here. Look. What's this? She's giving it the old Pixel sniff. And did you see her just pound that chunk of chicken? This is the cat who didn't like chicken. No, that's not true. She didn't like chicken. She didn't like cat food chicken. This is one of those chicken wing pieces, and I just took some off with my fingers and shredded it up with my fingers. And she is going to town, you guys. So, Rick's Heart Attack Chicken is Pixel approved. What's she gonna do with that piece? Is it too big, Pixel? See what she does with it. Maybe she wants me to make it smaller for her. Nope, she just wants to eat it right off the table. Thanks, Pixel.